Yo, yo, yo. What is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? We're back once more with another daily Casper and crypto live stream, and we have quite a wide number of sources to cover in today's stream. We have confirmation from Mexc that they are or have been, well, the way they put it is they've been caught out. They are victim of manipulation, which, I mean, we've been telling them for months and months and months now, so that's not really news to us, but Mexc have now finally admitted it, so we'll get into that source in this video. We got a lot more updates regarding adoption, a lot more Casper posts as well, ultimately a lot of very stuff, a lot of niblets, but very, very important and, you know, ultimately very bullish thing to look at for Casper today, which will ultimately and fundamentally help with adoption and price going forward. And then we also got some significant updates in the crypto space as well regarding the XRP, for example. Their lawsuit has taken a very, very drastic and positive turn for them, which is good. And then in regards to the crypto space, we've got a lot of massive schedules and milestones to look forward to with the SEC Crypto Task Force, and much more to cover in the stream as well. We have, as a favor, I guess this is something that I've already disclosed to members as part of the executive community here, and this here is something that I did. This is one of many institutional research documents that, you know, I've been able to find. This one I'm going to disclose to the community here. They're ultimately just talking about what the rolling plan of ICT standardization is and what their big focus is on. And this is just a small snippet of all the massive information we try to, you know, educate everyone in this community as well. There's a lot more to cover in stream as always, so if you enjoy, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. You know the deal. All you need to understand right now is it's happening already. The adoption of blockchain, of derivatives markets, for crypto, everything is already happening. So the manipulation, the price being down, all that sort of stuff is short-term noise. Long-term things are still looking very, very bullish, because that's where the market will end up going. If America wants to adopt it, they need the price to go up to make worthwhile on their investments. That being said, welcome back everyone to the stream. I know it's a little bit earlier today. I apologize, but I can't do it at the usual time on Wednesdays. Occasionally, today's one of those days, but tomorrow's stream should be at the usual time, which is 2 hours later. But hopefully you're all having a very good day so far. Deepest member, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're doing very, very well. What's up, my man? Let them keep the price low for all I care. Stack at low prices. They can't do it forever. And yeah, honestly, I do share your sentiment. If I'm being honest, I do share it, because the longer they keep manipulating the price, the more I can get cheap Casper. The more I can get cheap Casper, when the price inevitably returns, in my belief, I'll be laughing. And what I've just realized right now, which is, you know, maybe the element and benefit of TA. Of course, those who've been following me for a while know my TA is mainly just used for zones, as opposed to actually trying to judge market trajectory, because I think that's more so based on fundamental news rather than just TA. But because there's a lack of fundamental news right now, Casper is respecting the TA, which right now the TA showcases Casper's currently trading between this downwards sloping wedge. We've seen over the past 3 days, Casper has been rebounding off the level of resistance right here, this downwards sloping wedge here. We are now at a critical area where it's now rebounding off the level of support here at 7.5 and resistance here coming down. So either we'll see Casper break out here, maybe go up to 9 cents, or we'll see Casper continue to trade down here until we reach this cross down here below, and then we'll see a more definitive move. There's definitely still a possibility Casper comes down in the immediate short term. I'm not discrediting that, but because the hash rate is also coming down quite drastically, or staying at a low level now at 1.15 EH. Not that long ago, it was at 1.59 with all-time highs. It was trading around 1.3, 1.5 for a very, very long time. Now it's kind of staying down low and have been doing so for a while. This is partly due to miners going offline, because the price is just not profitable for miners right now, and also due to a lot of the companies turning off their miners to upgrade the new ones. But ultimately, for the hash rate to start going up again, we need to see the price to rally as well. And the key thing we're looking out for in that regard as well is also 10 BPS, because 10 BPS will give the solo miners in particular more opportunities to mine blocks. To make a clear understanding, you won't make more money in the exact sense with 10 BPS, but you'll have more opportunities to mine a block, therefore you may end up generating more revenue. You have more opportunities, because it's like, imagine for just simple sake, every month there's 100 blocks released for Casper. With 10 BPS, that's 10 times more. So there's a lot more blocks to mine, therefore. And that will likely see a lot of the solo miners come on board, and hopefully that'll also kickstart all the other catalysts, the adoption, the tier ones, of course, hopefully to listing Casper around that point as well. The price will rally, and therefore we'll see this rally up much higher, and that will in due time correlate to the price as well. Price right now is going down, currently down 2.6% on the daily time frame, valued at 7.56 cents, and it could come down a little bit further. But at the end of the day, price for me is not the be all and end all for Casper, especially in the short term. What I care about Casper is the fundamentals and what it's going to do in the future based on the incoming catalysts. The first post we have here is from Giuliano, who is a Muay Thai boxer, Muay Thai fighter, who recently, and I mean very recently, got sponsored by Casper and the KEF. So this weekend, just gone, so it has been, 3-4 days now, marked his first official fight in a very long time as part of my preparation for the European Championship this April, so next month. And he was proudly representing Casper. Long and short of it, he won. This is nothing major. I mean, for the individual Giuliano, then yes, massive congrats to him. Very, very well done. For Casper in and of itself, it may not seem like a very, very big deal, but you've got to understand, the more you get these sort of more Casper starts, delving into the sort of entertainment industry as well. This is just, Muay Thai boxer. What's to say in the future it won't become sponsors, or the KF will help Casper be sponsored on, football jerseys, like the Red Hawks, or maybe even soccer for the American audience, or football as I call it, like Arsenal or Chelsea or Man City jerseys. Entertainment industry is a very, very massive industry, so Casper getting their foot in there is reassuring. And of course, if they win, that's also going to bring more wandering eyes to Casper as well. So that is cool to see. And speaking of growing adoption as well, the Web3 Festival, they are also welcoming the KF Casper as a gold sponsor at the upcoming Hong Kong Web3 Festival 2025, which is on the 6th to 9th of April. So again, that is about a week or two away from now, if I'm not mistaken. And 6th to 9th of April is, so that is the next Sunday to Tuesday, or Wednesday, next Sunday to Wednesday. So that's all cool, very, very cool. Casper, of course, we saw from a post from Johnny, which I'm pretty sure I did retweet, about how it's quite an important event. It's actually quite a very popular, very big and well-known event. So again, it's good to see these sort of developments coming through time and time again for Casper. I don't seem to see the post right now, so I probably put it in my community. But either way, again, it is great to see once more adoption growing more and more. And in that regard, we also have this post here. Once we're talking about the growth of adoption and bringing Casper's name out there, Casper has just started a new series called Introducing Casper Accepted Here. Remember, Casper's first and foremost goal is to kind of be utilized as a peer-to-peer electronic currency. With the introduction of smart contracts and stablecoins, it will evolve Casper beyond just a peer-to-peer into a fully fledged DeFi, which is much bigger for, what will come in the future. But fundamentally speaking, Casper's sole purpose at the beginning, at the very base layer, was to be a peer-to-peer electronic currency medium of exchange, to surpass what Bitcoin's meant to be, to fill the gaps where Bitcoin could not do regarding its scalability. So ultimately, their goal is to get Casper utilized everywhere as a form of payment. That's why you've got Omnicas, who's building a travel company, and Casper, and utilizing Casper for payments. And they've got a resounding 100%, 75,000 votes saying yes, go ahead with your projects. That's very good to see as well. And you've got many other companies, businesses that are already trying to, grow their brand, are already accepting Casper. They just had their first video, which is showcasing merchants around the world. That's what accept Casper here, merchants around the world. And their first one is with Auto Salto Service. I definitely butchered that. It's in Portugal, North Portugal, I believe I'm correct. Which is very, very good to see. And again, it's a great opportunity to learn about Casper and its real-world use case and how it's being adopted around the world. And we're still very, very early on. Next feature will show Wolfy's bar, and I actually do have a lot of belief, love, and faith in Wolfy's bar. I think Wolfy's bar, I mean, it's also based in the UK, so I have a little bit of a soft spot for that as well. But I think Wolfy's bar is a very, very great project. Wolfy's bar, simply put, is a place where you can just go and buy, you know, from drinks, alcohol to just food. Like it's a very nice communal place. At Wolfy's, we celebrate the essence of living city living, good friends, ethically sourced coffee, old-fashioned cocktails, locally brewed craft beer. I'm not sponsored by Wolfy Bar. It's not a sponsor thing. I just generally do like the project. I definitely do like I like the entrepreneurship of Wolfy and what he's trying to build right here. From coffee to alcohol to everything. Honestly, it looks very, very cool. And I will one day definitely go and attend. I mean, it's in my city. So, you know, it's in London, so I can definitely go check it out. You know, and I'll end up paying Casper there as well. And we got this post here regarding Wolfy's bar a little bit more. They have a progress bar. The TLDR of this is Wolfy's coin, which is referring to the KRC20, which is right here, number 30, I think it was. Yeah, Wolfy's coin here. Wolfy's coin has currently surged up 27% in value, and market cap is up 30%, which is good for the long-term holders. The NFT market cap has jumped by 53%, which is equally very, very good, with over 12k in total earnings now accumulated. Ultimately, is showcasing the long-term community strength and how it's strengthening more and more. So again, shout out to Wolfy and anyone who's holding Wolfy. I think again, their project is very, very cool, and their adoption, in my belief, is definitely going to grow more and more, because as they put in an article here, here's a fact most won't tell you, which I can agree with firsthand, as I have also tried to do so myself. 80% of businesses fail in their first year. 80%. However, if you stayed employed while building your business, that failure rate dropped to 20. So similarly, the biggest reason why people fail when trying to be an entrepreneur is they haven't got enough finances. If finances are an issue, then your chances of failing is a lot less. And this is ultimately what Wolfy and his bar and even what he tries to provide as well as an experience to people. But again, Wolfy seems to have a very, very, solid head on his shoulders and knows definitely what he's doing, which is why I think his business is and will continue to be very successful and grow more and more. And also, thanks to the likes of Nacho as well and other currently bigger projects, as they're going to help bring the adoption back to KRC20, equally with KDAO as well. KDAO also doing very, very well to bring more adoption back to KRC20 and to Casper as well. Of course, Nacho now is live on Gate, which is good. We can see on KRC20 now that Nacho's volume, while market cap's come down 22%, it's at 14.3, the volume is almost at 1.5 million. We have not seen any KRC20 project surpass 1 million volume. I think it's been 2-3 months or so. It's been a very long time. The last of it probably would have been Kango. Kango's always had the highest volume. But Nacho seem to have resuscitated some of the volume for the other projects right now, which is good. And I'm sure with the inevitable relief rally we'll see in crypto and Casper with its developments, this ecosystem will thrive more and more, the ones that can survive. So the ones that I'm going to judge right now that haven't got this exclamation point here. Of course, low liquidity doesn't mean they're dead, but it does mean they're struggling. So it looks like Comet, anything above Comet is currently safe. I mean, again, these ones below, they may do okay, but right now the adoption is purely not there. But either way, that is good to see that KRC20 is, especially Nacho, thankfully, is thriving again, which proves once more the crucial factor that when Casper rallies, these will get adoption. You're seeing this sort of volume from gate listing when the price and value of the market is still heavily down. So just imagine what you're going to see when more listings come on board and the market starts to reverse and starts rallying up again. This ecosystem, the big assets in this ecosystem are likely going to explode. So again, not financial advice, do your own research. Memes, of course, are inherently very, very risky, although some of these memes, like Nacho, like Wolfy, they do have some use case behind them, more utility, which is good. I'm sure other ones like Kango, Casper as well also have that sort of use case as well. I haven't looked too much into them. Make sure you do your own research, of course. But it's good to see, again, Adoption of Casper is growing more and more. These sort of series are coming out, helping spread more adoption and awareness of what Casper's building, and the fact that actually it's being used for payments right now. It's already being used for payments. So just envision what you're going to see when we get mass adoption. Congresswoman here asked, do you see the possibility of blockchains being adapted as a tool in all American commodities and derivatives markets for purposes of transparency and beyond? And the crypto dad, aka Giancarlo, former CFTC chairman, stated yes, it's already happening. It's already happening, but it's still a massive unknown behind it. People don't really understand it and don't really know it's happening. Point being is, in due time, this will be a widely known thing, the same way we live and breathe and just go about our daily lives. We all know how big blockchain is in regard to the financial markets. And especially us who are here early as well in crypto and of course in Casper as well, that will also help more adoption, especially if Casper's block DAG can become an integral part of this evolving system, which I think it can do thanks to DKI, thanks to DKF, and thanks to what Casper's building, which is truly innovative. Projects like Wolfy, projects like Nacho, and Kango, all the other, even the secret system. When you have Project Sparkle coming out, if I'm not mistaken, Project Sparkle will allow these Chaos 20 tokens to migrate into smart contracts, which again will give them more use cases as well, which is very good to see. Now, in that regard, yes, Nacho is doing very well. Great to see. In that regard, we do have some posts regarding Mexc. Mexc posted an update. Casper withdrawal and deposit service. Technical upgrades completion this week. This is a blog here as well. So that's something else, from what I can tell. Just talking about Mexc would like to address recent concerns and provide updates regarding Casper withdrawals and deposit services. We'd like to inform you that a comprehensive system architecture upgrade for Casper deposit and withdrawals is currently in progress. Our team is working diligently to complete the upgrades with the aim of financing this week. So ultimately, once more with the maintenance with Mexc, understandably we've been like, okay, that's like the 10th, 100th time that's happened with Casper. Why does it keep happening every single time? And then now I've been like, okay, we're going to try and deter the FUD and say, we need to do it, they need to do it and they're aiming to finish it this week. So hopefully maintenance will be finished with Mexc by the end of this week. But again, I don't even need to say it. Not your keys, not your crypto. Keeping your assets on an exchange is inherently very, very risky. If you're trading, of course, it can't be avoided. But if you're holding for the long term, you should have it in a Tangent wallet or a one key wallet or a ledger, some cold storage. So, this is a talk about maintenance here. This information is already available in my free Discord server, which again, if you are new and want to find out more, I got a free Discord community here where we have 600 people in there who are, a majority of us and not all of us are just actually trying to learn more about crypto and Casper. If you want to find out a lot more, just click the link on my homepage right here. Also, is in the description. And you'll find out a lot more and just be in a community where we're all just trying to chill, chat and learn more about crypto. It could be a laugh in there. The Americans in particular love taking the mick out of me because I'm British. But yeah, it's a very nice community and we're ultimately just trying to learn more about the space. And I believe that Casper has never been stronger, especially those who are part of the executive community, the WAP page, which you can join for a 7-day free trial. We do a lot more information in there, a lot more informative content that gives you a lot more in-depth insight about the market, the institutional analysis and what the institutions are sending to their clients about the market, where we're going to go, alongside trade alerts, which have been very profitable so far. Our community, a part of it so far, have made very good gains from learning about trading. Shout out to C Crypto. And chart flows of his picks as well, so in case you want to know a lot more about that and much more, links are down below in the description, also my homepage as well. You can join for a 7-day free trial, so get a peek behind the curtains, and if you like it, sign up. If not, by all means cancel. That's completely up to you. But there's a lot more content to the space, and that's what we're trying to provide in there, more clarity and a lot more understanding. That's also why I'm going to be showcasing this article in a moment from the European Commission, which is just a small inkling of the sort of insights we provide in that community, the level of institutional awareness we need to have so we know what plays and what conviction we should have and where to, focus ourselves in this market. But I'll get to that again a little bit later on. But we'll get into more of the Mexc post here anyway. So that's the maintenance side of things for Mexc and Casper. We've got then this post here, which I think is honestly just hilarious. Mexc detects and eliminates coordinated market maker manipulations scheme. Ultimately, in the long and short of the article, because I'm not going to bore you reading the whole thing, it talks about how there have been a ridiculous amount of money that's been lost. And that being or they've been manipulated on the Mexc exchange. Institutional level access is mentioned here. So that's like B2C2. So ultimately, MMs, market manipulation, market makers, they're manipulating the price and assets. And that's exactly what Wintermute said as well. It's been confirmed already from Wintermute and other people that, they're focusing on institutions and they're focusing on, behind the door trading. So you can't see it on chain. Therefore, they're actively admitting they're manipulating the price of the assets. And as Greg highlighted, which I completely agree with, it's just funny how Mexc is out here evidently just trying to save face here. Posting about the fact that they're being manipulated by these market makers. But they work alongside with them. Maybe it got a little bit out of hand, but they work alongside with them. So they're trying to save face, but remember, Mexc would have let the likes of Wintermute drive the alt prices down. The market makers are the ones who've caused severe technical damage to the alt charts. This is of course allegedly, but proof is in the pudding, right? Casper's come down to 7.5 cents. XRP has been hovering around here thanks to lawsuits, stuff like that. Even Ethereum's come down to 2k. C's come down to 20 cents. Tau's come down to 260. That's because market makers are manipulating the price on the exchange of choice, whether it be Coinbase, Mexc, you name it. Mexc, of course, seems to be one of the bigger culprits. So they're saying here, we just found the manipulators, but realistically speaking, I would like to believe they've done this the whole time. They're only now making it public because there's been so much. It's been on blast lately about how crypto coming down so good, or how is altcoins crashing so heavily in comparison to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently down 20%, give or take, 20% from its all-time high. Ethereum and effectively every other asset in this space is down 50. Casper's down 60 to 70, but Ethereum's down 50. And every other alt is equally struggling. Look at Tau. Tau from all-time high, or even recent all-time high, that's 66 from recent all-time high. It's still 60. 65 even. You've got so many other assets in this space. Hedera H-bar from the recent all-time high. 50%. Algorand. 65%. I'm not going to look at X. XCM is probably about 85%, truth be told. 80% almost. Like, all these assets, Turbo as well. That's a meme coin, so I guess it's a bit of a different argument here, but Turbo's down 83%. The fact that Bitcoin's down 20, I'm not saying that the other alts should be down 20 as well. They should come a little bit further down, but by 60 to 70, this is like bear market level corrections we've seen. We should call this a bear trap. It's a bear trap, so it's not out of the ordinary per se. It's a bear trap, but it is weird. So evidently, Mexc and I'm sure other exchanges maybe do something similar as well, trying to save face, saying, we've caught coordinated efforts by market makers to manipulate the price of altcoins like you didn't know. The takeaway from this is no matter what happens in this space, whether it be from exchanges themselves or market makers, manipulation will always happen. Either we see it on chain or we see it behind closed doors. We won't see it all the time, but it will always happen. We cannot avoid that. We haven't got the money to stop it from happening. All we can do is keep researching, don't be emotional, be logical, and keep on trucking forward. Casper has definitely been, while not confirmed from Mexc, it's quite evident that Casper has been, at the brunt of it. And here from Casper Daily highlights here, Mexc has frozen more than 1,500 accounts, 1,500 accounts linked to the major market manipulation scheme. It involved coordinated trading group primarily from Vietnam and Eastern Europe, Russia. The accounts were involved in tactics like self-trading, placing artificial buy-sell walls, and front-running, with some reaching over $20 million in trading volume. We've been highlighting this in the Casper community for months. I'm pretty sure since its all-time high. We're showing these massive sells on Mexc, and they've been going unnoticed. But now, Mexc are acknowledging this. Now, it's still unclear whether Casper directly was affected or not, But the fact that Casper price is so far down, you could argue whether it's directly affected or not, it's definitely, had a knock-on effect to Casper's price as well. So Mexc has admitted manipulation. No matter what happens, it will still continue to go on, there's no doubt about it, and it's unfortunate. But again, if you look at the outlook of the market, which I'm going to get into right in a moment, I'm not remotely worried about the trajectory of crypto, and manipulators cannot keep the price down for so long. It's only a matter of time. They're doing it right now, but in due time, they will lose. This first post here from Eleanor Terrett, who is a former Fox Business journalist. Now she is the host of Crypto America, which is on the C platform. But she's got very good connections here. She's just reported and reposted that Ripple has agreed to drop its lawsuit, or its cross appeal even, against the SEC. So instead of the $125 million fine that Judge Torres told Ripple to pay the SEC, Ripple has dropped their cross appeal. They've had some negotiations, and now they're only paying $50 million fine, not $125 million, $50 million, which is still a lot. But you think about it. Back when, this is the biggest lawsuit in history, back when Gary Gensler was in power, he said $2 billion fine. I mean, Judge Torres said that's ridiculous. They picked $125 million, and now they got it down to $50 million. The fact they're still paying a fine, we can debate if there's something illicit they're trying to cover up. Again, I'm not going to get into that. There's no proof as such that I know of, at least. But fundamentally speaking, again, this is a big win for Ripple and XRP. Their fine going down lower, and now the SEC has now been asked, they're going to go and ask Judge Torres to lift the injunction she imposed on Ripple in addition to the fine. So while the SEC can't change the injunction, they have a lot of influence, and they can plead with the judge and hope the judge will listen. So in that regard, those people who are holding XRP, you might be in for a good run, because now the lawsuit is well and truly coming to the final stages. And Stuart Oldroyd said this should be my last update on the case ever, hopefully, which would be good for them. The whole premise of the injunction, Judge Torres put an injunction that basically said that Ripple was not allowed to pay to sell XRP to institutional investors, which kind of does ruin their whole business model, as XRP will benefit institutions. So if Judge Torres does lift that will bring more adoption to XRP as well. Again, Love XRP is a big deal for them, but the reason I highlight this because actually it's a big deal for all of crypto, because whether you love or hate XRP, what I believe we could all agree on is XRP and Ripple, they led the charge on crypto innovation in America with the lawsuit under Biden and Gary Gensler. And should Ripple have lost, we would not be in the situation we're in right now. Ripple's victory, I like to believe, and that's not due to a bias or anything like that. This is how I viewed the market after I've been looking at crypto for so long. I view Ripple's victory in America as a critical one to bring adoption to the whole of the country and to fast track and accelerate adoption in America as well. His victory, while bigger for Ripple and XRP, is a big one for crypto as a whole. As the final hurdle, the final lawsuit that's blocking innovation in America. So once all the votes, once all of this has been voted on by the commission and the court documents are in order, the case will officially be over, which is big for them. And Anatolia also highlights here there are some more important dates coming through. The SEC Crypto Task Force has announced 4 more industry roundtables to discuss digital asset regulations on the 11th of April, which will be on Friday in 2 weeks' time. It'll be between a block and a hard place, tailoring regulations for crypto trading. Then 2 weeks after that, April 25th, Know Your Custodian, key considerations for crypto custody, which, again, we could always just say not your keep the crypto, hold it in a cold storage. May 12th, which is on a Monday, I believe, is tokenization, moving assets on chain where TradeFi and DeFi meet, which, if I just want to highlight it right now, by May 12th, Casper most definitely should have 10 BPS out and potentially smart contracts and or stablecoins. So you might be able to also start jumping into the tokenization market, and the KRI are helping Casper get to that space as well. And then June 6th, which is a whole month later, DeFi and the American Spirit. So ultimately they're talking about regulations for crypto trading, how to custody your crypto, tokenization, so how to, get proper regulations between the traditional financial system and the DeFi, which is crypto space, and then how to just explode it therefore from their point on as well. but more adoption coming through in that regard. We already covered this response from Giancarlo as well. And as Greg showed me yesterday as well, GameStop announced update to its investment policy to add Bitcoin as a reserve treasury asset, which equally is good news. So adoption is growing more and more, and the 6 trillion asset manager Fidelity is now going to be launching crypto stablecoins as well. Very bullish all around, very good news for crypto, and that's why, while the FUD or manipulation is frustrating, especially with Mexc and Casper, I still remain very bullish. Very, very bullish. I'm going to get into more of the Casper comments in a moment. Equally, this document here. But I'm going to answer questions quickly, very quickly. Which, again, is just... Yeah, manipulation aside, Casper, I think, is still in a very, very unique and strong position right now. We can see on CoinMarketCap, its volume's at 52 million, which is still very low. And it's equally fallen off on Bybit and BitGet, which is not good either. The volume's being dominated by L-Bank right now, which is surprising and interesting. Then it's Gate, 16%, then Mexc at just short of 15%. So once more, volume for Casper is still lackluster. We see it go up higher, which I'm sure happened in due time. It's still, I'm seeing it all over Twitter right now. Consistently is appearing as the most tweeted altcoin in the space, the most retweeted altcoin in the space. So again, Casper's got the community, and it's got some early stage adoption. When the market's returning, Casper starts to rally. The ones who don't know better, who hopefully will learn more about Casper as well, they'll start flooding into space as well, and we'll see Casper price start to rally as a result of it as well. Good evening, decent man. Hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome back to the channel. What's up, Nico, as well? Hope you're doing very, very well. Casper's price action sucks again. Why do we suffer more than most of the other coins in the top 100 of CoinMarketCap? I mean, it's a great question, my man. Honestly, I don't have an answer for you. I really, really don't. It's just frustrating, honestly, and I do agree. My 2 cents on it, if I was to give a prediction of why, it is because of Casper's lack of VC backing and a lack of people who are doing that upward to keep it. Of course, we are trying to keep it up, the miners and just the community in general, but like Sui right now is pumping 4.42%. I've not looked at Sui. I don't know what they're doing to cause this sort of pump right now. I'm going to find out soon. But it may just be, again, the element of VC backing. They're just calling the price to pump. Casper's so fair launch is for everyone that if everyone has a very bearish sentiment on Casper, it's, well, a short-term... I think everyone in the community right now has a short-term bearish sentiment on Casper. But long-term is it's the most bullish in the space. But short-term is better, therefore, that's why Casper's price actually is always the worst. Because the community sentiment right now just is not the best. Through the manipulation, they broke the power law, playing with my money, but maybe a long-term benefit. I mean, yeah, the manipulation sucks. Although there is arguments that the power law is skewed off it, but it's not quote-unquote broken. But I do agree, yeah, the manipulation is frustrating beyond all belief. Manipulation is natural happening in crypto. Yeah, exactly what I was saying earlier. It's completely usual. Like, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating, but we can't do anything about it. We are fishes swimming along with the whales. All we can do is just try our best to follow the markets. Mexc identified and purged our own internal accounts. Our wash trading will continue in 12 hours with brand new bots. Yes, sure. The way I'm reading that is that you're saying that you're part of the people who are bot trading Casper, which you are. I mean, again, get your bag, I guess, fair enough. But I mean, Mexc did just freeze and wipe over 1,500 accounts. So yeah. What's up, Mr. Mildman? Hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome back. And you are a little bit off first, but I like the belief, if you will. Sounds like someone is holding a grudge against me. No, never me, or never anyone. What's up, Lammerman? Hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome back, my man. I've seen so many turbo holders and fans talking lately. I don't understand how a meme coin can have dedicated investors. Well, what I will say in regards to Turbo right now is Turbo saw an 85% correction, 86% correction from all-time highs, which coincidentally was when the Casper FUD got really, really loud and a lot of investors were switching over to Turbo. I don't need to go into more detail. I'm not trying to start fights, but everyone knows what I'm talking about there. But, be that as it may, as you look at Turbo right now, you draw out the line at its bottom here, you can see that this definitely was around a level of support for Turbo. You know, around this area here. So it did kind of rebound off that. And with how far Turbo's down, there's also, and I have not looked too much into Turbo, so I cannot confirm as such, but I know if you look at Turbo on CoinMarketCap, it comes under a meme AI, if I'm not mistaken. If I go to AI, I scroll down, I'm pretty sure I'll find it. There you go. Under AI, Turbo's apparently an AI. So I'm not entirely sure what Turbo, I don't know too much in regard to what Turbo actually is as a project. It's a meme, but if that's an AI, that in itself could be quite big. Because I mean, that's what I'm going to be covering in a moment here, the significance of AI again. But that's Turbo in that regard. But yeah, I think Turbo right now, again, memes are inherently very risky and much more risky than anything else in this space. It's literally like going to a casino. But if Turbo was hypothetically or theoretically to rally to all-time highs, that's almost 6x from here. And maybe it does. Maybe it surpasses that as well. Who knows? I know I got delisted off Coinbase not too long ago. So of course the sentiment for Turbo's down right now. But it's been rallying for the past, past 2 to 3 weeks. Currently, I think the sentiment, people talk about it right now because Turbo's currently up 40% in the past 2 weeks, which, I mean, as a gradual accumulation is quite good to see. And maybe it'll continue right now. Who knows? I'm not a financial advisor, of course, but I mean, I have looked at Turbo and I'm not in it, but I have considered getting in these prices right now because, you know, not a lot because again, the meme's very risky. So I put a very tiny allocation. I'm talking like 0.001 of my portfolio into Turbo, but if I could have the potential to make a 6x and more, then that's inherently the full process of memes. But again, do your own research, trade your own discretion. I do talk about that a little bit more, or will be doing so again in the community. I did stop it, the meme trading in this community, because the meme market got completely nuked by Trump. But the market is now kind of met its whole bottom, I like to believe. So I think the Solana meme coins and the meme coins in general, I think are starting to make a small but gradual recovery. I think Fartcoin's going up again. So I might be talking about some meme picks in there as well to hopefully make some quick gains alongside the perpetual trading that we're doing with chart flows and equally the trading information that Secrets is providing as well. Yeah, also Doge has a lot of belief, but that's because Doge's got Elon behind it, so. The Casper Discord was highlighting these issues with Mexc way longer than months. Oh yeah, I mean, I started seeing it like every single week on Twitter a few months back, but I know the Casper Discord themselves in there were highlighting it, you know, like over a year back. It's not news to us by any means, but Mexc are treating it like they already just discovered it. But that either means they've been ignoring everyone's post about it, or they're just feigning ignorance, which I like to believe is the latter, because there's no way they didn't know about it. Isn't Doge supply infinite? Yes, I believe it is. Dogecoin, I'll talk about Ethereum as well. Doge has got a infinite supply. Currently, there's 148.59 billion circulating, which is their current total supply, but there is a possibility to print more if they choose to, which is just basically dollars in that regard. It's just the problem with the system. This is no fix to the current problem we have in the financial system. And similarly to Ethereum as well, Ethereum equally has a circulating supply of 120.64 million, which is their total supply right now, but equally, if it being infinite, they have the possibility to print more should they choose to, which again is not a fix to our system. Ethereum for me is a great place for institutions and builders alike to build on, to then migrate to the chain or ledger or platform of choice. Because pretty much everything in this space is interoperable with Ethereum because it's the biggest one in the market. Casper EVMs, for example. XRP Ledger's got EVM sidechains, for example. But I think a lot of people are building or have built on Ethereum, not because they believe so much in Ethereum, because Ethereum's so expensive and it's not scalable, while also losing decentralization. It's just a complete failure in my belief. Not completely putting down Ethereum. I think it's still going to rally the cycle. Will it make all-time highs? I'd like to believe it can do. We'll have to wait and see. I hope it does, so alt can, go crazy more so as well. But Ethereum has more use case, and for me, I'd argue Ethereum's biggest use case right now is letting people build to then migrate to the chain of choice, which hopefully will be Casper. I think Casper will definitely get a good portion of the market. It's still early on, so I think XRP will probably at least for right now, XRP and Hedera HBAR and Solana probably capture more of the market. But Casper will definitely get a lot of it with TBS smart contracts and that sort of stuff this cycle, no doubt about it. Probably more than we expected as well, thanks to the KRI as well. What's up, Go to my man? I hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome back to the chat. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, Doge has Elon as well. Yeah, without Elon, Doge would be dead, no doubt about it. You also got Doge as Department of Government Efficiency as well. So again, it's also going to help out with Doge going up as well. But yeah, I mean, slightly, not a great transition, but I'm going to quickly be covering this post here, this article from the European Commission, which I did post the information to my executives already, so they already know about it, but I'm highlighting it this one on stream. I'll very, very rarely be highlighting the institutional documents that I post in here on live on stream, because again, this is the benefit of being in the community here. Whether you're on the free trial paying, you get to know inside information about what's coming through to the space. But this is one of many more, even more in-depth documents from the likes of KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, from World Economic Forum, and many, many more. Signum as well, who highlight the significance of what's coming to the space very soon with crypto. This here, though, from the European Commission, is Rolling Plan 2025, the Rolling Plan for ICT Standardization. Ultimately, this is a working document published by the European Commission, taking into account the inputs from the expert group European Multi-Stakeholder Platform on ICT Standardization. It is complementary to the annual Union Work Programme, formal document adopted by the Commission that identifies the strategies, the strategic properties of standardization. So ultimately, this document here is a yearly plan made with inputs from many groups. You can see the groups here are listed. Around 260 actions grouped into 40 technologies, applications. A lot of people, a very big group, and many groups that outlines action to support European Union tech policies. Now, again, I have the information is here, and it's again one of more. But the part I wanted to highlight here is again talking about AI. Standards for AI have been an important topic in the Rolling Plan for more than 5 years. The information in the Rolling Plan has been instrumental in the publication of the standardization request by the European Commission issued in support of the AI Act. As a result, we will see increased activity on standardization for AI in the years to come, which will continue to be reflected in the Rolling Plan. This once more highlights the significance of AI and the institutional belief in AI going forward. That's why projects like Tau, Desync, and many other AI picks, some of them that I'm looking into and I haven't disclosed yet, and some of them are only disclosed to members who are part of the community here. That's why AI is going to be so big, because they've been looking at it for years and they're only going to accelerate it going forward here as well. And why is it big? And I mean, it's very, very big news again. A lot more in-depth information about what's come to the space from institutional sentiment, which is again the ones who drive the market. So what they say has got more importance, I'd like to say. We do provide in here. We have a lot of people who are doing a lot of research in there as well. So if you want to find out more, again, links are down in the description and also on my homepage as well, the WAP.com. You can join for a 7-day free trial alongside finding out trades. We get put in trade alerts and whatnot, putting in some other meme coin picks, I'm sure, in soon as well. And a lot more provided in there as well in education. So if you're a beginner, you can hopefully learn more about how to actually make the most in the space as well through trading and whatnot. But I also want to highlight again, while just glossing over AI and how big it's going to be, the fact that they're very bullish on AI. Johnny did announce, so I'm going to try and preload it now. I'm talking about it. Johnny did announce AI is coming to Casper potentially very, very soon. Here it is. You can see here, Johnny highlighted. Maybe we could see the first of many AI projects on Casper soon, backed by DWF. On the back of coin market maker DWF Labs has introduced a $250 million fund for investment into a mid to large cap cryptocurrency project by Jamie Crawley, CD. Casper has highlighted here and asked Johnny, maybe we can convince them to invest in Casper on top of being a market maker. And Johnny said that was part of the deal, likely and most likely on some AI projects though. So DWF Labs are going to be already our market maker for Casper, but also going to hopefully try and bring some AI projects to Casper as well. And again, we've just seen how the institutional sentiment and what they believe and why AI is big. So that could also play a big factor into Casper if they're building AI projects as well, or people are building AI onto Casper as well. The fastest, or soon to be the fastest layer 1, the most secure layer 1, and cheap, and the cheapest as well. And secure. So yeah, Casper's in a very unique position in that regard. Got a lot of adoption coming through in due time. And kind of going a bit of a weird full circle as well. Johnny made a post here, ultimately in response to a post about a chat about market makers. Of course, Casper have a few of them, or KF has part of a few of them, one of them being DWLF. Now, Johnny highlighted here, know that Casper community is curious to explore the issues with these days with market makers. Just keep in mind that I am totally aware of market makers' tricks since I have been in the crypto land since 2017. Therefore, when we pick a market maker for conversation with exchanges, we are sensitive mostly to how much the loan would be, not the yield rate, not the strike prices, not investments coming along. I've told many market makers if I want investments, why don't they just speak to VCs and investors? So Johnny's basically trying to say here, again, you could choose to believe him or not. I'm going to choose to believe him. We can assure you that we only look for market neutral strategies with a really small size of a loan. So far, the amount that has been lent out is even smaller than 1% of the peak daily volume of Casper. The peak daily volume of Casper is 670 million. So that would mean be less than that'd be 600,000. Is the math Masson? Massive Masson. Yeah, the massive Masson. No, it's not. 6 million. 6 million. Okay, there's 6 million. There you go. Yeah, so that means the most it ever loaned out has been around 6 million. Which of course is quite a considerable amount. But, when you compare that to the market, ultimately John is trying to say here, we have market makers, of course, that are trying to help, quote unquote, help Casper. And we know they are, quite devious. But, we're trying to make sure they do not take advantage of Casper. Because we believe in Casper. And they've already highlighted in the past their belief in Casper. They believe Casper can be a top 5 project, and I agree. Casper can be a top 5 project. So, and right now, I'm not sure how many market makers Casper has. I think Wintermute is working closely with some Casper initiatives, like Chaos 20 in particular, and DWF Labs is one of them as well. I'm not sure if we've got any more. I can't exactly remember, but I know DWF Labs again going to be very big. Hope to bring AI to Casper as well. But again, it's huge, as highlighted in this institutional research document from the European Commission. And again, we've done a lot more in-depth institutional insight, helping you maximize the benefits of understanding of crypto and what we should be looking at in this market, and how it could be for Casper as well. Check out the Coin Factory, 7-day free trial. Links are down in the description, also my homepage once again, as well right here. Without manipulation, we should be sitting around 50 cents Casper with possible 10x from here. I mean, you could argue that, but again, that's all hypothetical. We actually don't know. We could argue that Casper should be sitting at 50 cents with a potential to reach $5, but we just don't know. But who knows? I mean, maybe it will do. Maybe it will do. Maybe Casper will still be able to rally very quickly when the manipulation stops, because the market's just rallying so aggressively and Casper just keeps running higher and higher from there. Market makers can mess around with volumes, but the withdrawals being blocked is their own work. They have always been scammy. I mean, yeah, their business, their whole goal is to make money for themselves while not giving a rat's ass about us. So it's frustrating, no doubt about it. When is reversal for Casper? We have no idea right now, truth be told. I'd like to believe all the incoming policies and agendas for crypto. It won't be long now with 10 BPS coming out next month. There should be test nets for Casplex and Ecolabs EVMs coming out. I'd like to believe in the next week or so. And then you'll see the full release of hopefully many of those straight away with 10 BPS coming out as well. And then you have Project Spark coming out later in the summer. Stablecoins coming out in Q2 as well. So a lot of big catalysts coming through, and you'll see likely tier ones also rally their efforts. Speaking of which, actually, the supposed Binance wallet, weirdly, has bought more Casper today, 1.7 million almost, so 127,000 Casper or dollars worth of Casper, which again today is a Wednesday, not a Thursday or a Monday, so it's quite weird to see them buying more Casper today. But either way, they're still they slowed down the size of they were buying considerable amounts in the past, like quite big portions. Now they slowed it down considerably, but they're now buying off peaks, which is interesting as well. I'm sure this is an exchange. I'm sure this is Binance as well. Again, in due time, we'll see them list. We're seeing the holders right now holding relatively strong around 513,000 addresses. We've seen a lot of influx with the smaller accounts, dolphins down to crabs, with sharks and whales. I imagine they've probably seen some sharks de-risk to become dolphins or fishes. Not taking out the whole ports. But either way, we're seeing adoption for Casper still doing well. The top 10 addresses, 17.6%, so it's more decentralized in that regard as well, which is also interesting to see as well. In regards to more Casper news here, which is also important to note, why I still believe in Casper, another big reason, of course, Casper data highlights here, more Casper than ever hasn't moved in over 3 months. If you look at 3 months chart for Casper, we're currently going into April, so we're going to the beginning of the year. So we're looking here. So we're looking at this zone here. So we're down 40% from the beginning of the year, 3 months or so. And people who bought in the new year, more than ever, that money has not moved at all. People who bought 13 cents, not moved at all. So, hasn't moved in over 3 years, investors are holding onto it instead of selling and trading. This shows strong confidence in the project. With the upcoming Crescendo upgrade and the introduction of smart contracts, demand could increase significantly. If that happens and most of the supply stays untouched, which it could be possible again with the miners seemingly also falling off, it could lead to a real supply squeeze and upward pressure of the price. This is very good to see all in all. Very good to see all in all. And speaking of which, the post here from the KF said announcing the winners of the Casper 10 BPS DAG Visualizer grant, which is again very cool to see, and it's going to be released, delivered with Crescendo. So when Crescendo comes out, we'll be seeing a visualizer created from the KF. We've seen a lot of ones done by the community already, like from Casper Door, and I think also from Christian Ludwig, I believe, which has been very cool. But it's going to be a really, really, I guess up to date, in tuned visualizer to what's happening on the 10 BPS mainnet infrastructure. So that'd be very cool to see. And furthermore, we got here from Shy as well, which is apparently his birthday. So happy birthday to Shy. Shy has just announced that he's happy to announce his new post. How to decentralize the layer 2s on Casper in the post-Crescendo pre-ZK era. So talking about after Crescendo, but just before the ZK comes out, which is KRP 15 for dummies basically. I've not looked through this just yet, but I plan to, but I'll link this in my community nonetheless. You go check it out there if you want to get a bit ahead of the game, some light reading if you will. But again, this is the sort of stuff I like Shy for. I love Shy for this. He is a very, very educational individual who also helps make the information, because what Casper's doing, it goes over my head, no doubt about it, and maybe some of you as well, although I'm sure you're smarter than me. But he helps make it simple to understand. So this is also going to understand what makes Casper so unique, how Casper can still remain decentralized while, having layer 2s built on top of Casper, which is huge news. And what's going to give Casper an edge in the market when adoption comes through more and more, and there'll be spaces and exchanges and institutions that want to remain and have the protection of decentralization, which only Casper can properly provide, because everything else is got a central authority behind it, so it's not truly decentralized. But yeah, understand that's coming out. Happy birthday Shy as well. And in other news as well, last year, according to Christian Ludwig here, he had Mining Disrupt Marathon, announced Casper Mining, and he had a big party with just Shy, Chad, and Wolfy. But there's no party this time around, but apparently Chad is going to be finding Fred Thiel, who is the CEO and chairman of Marathon, and having a little chit chat about technology. So he may be talking to Fred Thiel, if he gets a chance to about technology and what they're planning with Casper ultimately. I'm not sure he can disclose much, and I'm probably it might be a nothing burger, but either way, the fact that Marathon, while selling their Casper, is still mining Casper is still reassuring. And proof on sport that Casper has got Wall Street adoption is well known, or it is known within Wall Street, no doubt about it. And that could constitute to helping the price rally with the big defenders coming out as well. And Casper Silver made a thread here as well, which I thought was very interesting. Ultimately, here's a thread of Casper things you may or may not know. It will be ever growing, so make sure to save it, which of course I bookmarked it here. Casper Silver, again, shout out to him. He's a very, very, very good content creator for Casper. He's very very knowledgeable and very well known. Tom Polinsky is the founder of Casper. The account being hashtag. You got, he mentioned Ethereum. He's mentioned in the Ethereum white paper. So Ethereum, second project, Tom Polinsky mentioned in that white paper, related to the modified Ghost protocol it implemented. So once more highlighting that Ethereum's protocol it runs off is an adaptation of what Tom Polinsky and Casper created. Within hard code Genesis blocks of Casper, the Bible verse was added, written in I can't say that word, aromatic. I butchered that, I apologize, I'm so dyslexic, it's crazy. But the translation in English, Aramaic, I think it is and what is fitting for you and your brothers, you shall go do well with the rest of the silver and gold to perform the will of God. It comes from Ezra 7:18 KJV, and whatsoever shall seem good to thee and to thy brethren to do with the rest of silver and gold, that do after with the will of your God. So I mean, I'm sorry, my dyslexia really made me struggle there, but the message that I was basically given from that is, you know, Casper to digital silver as opposed to Bitcoin digital gold. The hard codex max supply of Casper is 29 billion. It says on CoinMarket it's 28.7 billion, but 29 billion. We do not see that number on platforms showing the supply because the script was created to estimate how much Casper would actually be mined if it follows the emission schedule. That's why the estimation came around 28 billion, but it's actually 29. You have the burn wallet, which is something that I mentioned a while back at the beginning, where there's some issues where you had to have Casper do the mining themselves to fix the issue, and we put it into a burn wallet. It's still there. So again, Casper was still fair launch, pre-allocation, no pre-mined. The emissions follow a schedule of frequency like a piano. And the most important part, which is why I believe in Casper, why we all believe in Casper, is Casper was fairly launched. It means it has no team, no foundation, or company being able to acquire an allocation of the coin supply before the ability to acquire the supply via mining or over the counter was enabled to the world. It's fair launch, very big. This is much different to comparing to other projects where insiders were able to get free lunch. The fact that what makes Casper is an actual cryptocurrency and not a crypto company. Every project in this space, proof of stakes, they are crypto companies because they have someone behind them who have obviously want your project to do well. I'm sure even the founders of Casper wanted to do well, but they're building Casper and it's fairly launched. Like the Ripple, for example, they've given like 50% of their token supply to the employees or something like that. If the project has allocation, then it's failed without even trying because it can no longer be considered decentralized. You can see here the comparison. Ethereum. Look at the public sale includes all pre-launches, sales, and lock drop allocation, all that sort of stuff. You have 20% inside of the foundation and more. Binance with 50%. Polkadot, Cardano, Solana. Look at all these projects here, big name projects. ICP. Flow. They haven't even put XRP in here, but ultimately highlighting once more all these projects in this space that aren't fair launch. But ones that are fair launch, I think Tao's fair launch, Casper, Bitcoin, and I'm sure there's some other ones in there, but Casper, of course, is the one we're talking about here, and that's why Casper, again, is so unique. And why, the long-term look for Casper is so bullish. What they're building is so huge, so innovative, and it's going to transform the space, and it will happen when we least expect it, in the sense of, we will expect it, I'm sure, because we talk about it every single day, but the community, the general crypto space, who've been fading Casper or been hating on Casper, will then realize late, oh wait, actually it is a good thing. And by that point, we're already sitting back, sipping pina coladas on the Maldives, chilling with our Casper bags in our private mint green yachts, Yeah, Casper also could be around 10 billion right now. We should put it in and around 10 bob market, put it in around, I think, 35 cents, give or take. Something like that. So it could be, but unfortunately it's not. People were saying that years before Elon outed himself as a holder, about time. Okay. Well, I'm not going to retrace that word for word because that might get me banned. But I mean, yeah, people have their negative viewpoint of Elon Musk, which I get. Similar with Trump as well. I get it. Either way, Doge is Doge. It's a meme coin nonetheless. When Lambo, in due time, show this one hopefully very soon. Binance got more Casper even today. Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. I did showcase that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. They got even more. It's when Nissan now for Casper holders. Hey, no, it's going to be when Bugatti. I'm telling you, it's still there. Still believe. There's no doubt about it. I identify as first. Okay, therefore I am first. Get with it. Same identity and truth. Okay, double first. So so you change your identity from first to double first now. Okay, cool, great. Glad I can make the live. Was good. Gang, what's up, Stephen King? Hope you're doing very, very well. I love the new profile picture of the Nacho NFT, looking very cool, my man. Yossi Oklahoma confirmed the Bitcoin reserve, putting in 10% of their reserve. They have roughly 3.4 billion in total. I did not see that, but that is huge nonetheless. And I'm definitely talking about that in my community later on. Shout out to you, my man. Thank you for this scoop. Huge news. I'm glad I got into memes. I learned a lot about central exchanges and market makers. If you watch low volume meme coins, you can make easy market makers adjust the price. There's a strategy behind it, definitely, but again, the risk to reward is very, very high. I am dabbling in memes here and there, and I might talk about some on the channel in due time. I'm planning to release a video later this week, probably tomorrow. It'll be probably covering either HBAR or SUI. I might choose SUI because a lot of people, I remember there was a question asked in my community yesterday about, is SUI also a block DAG, which is not. So whilst covering what SUI is and ultimately what's happening with it, also clear up the difference between SUI and Casper as well. Or the fact that SUI is not a block DAG. It's got parallel blocks, but it's not a block DAG. It's different. But yeah, I mean, memes are something that I might talk about. There are some memes that I think have got good potential. Even Turbo, despite its massive crash, I think Turbo could make a recovery. From how far down it's come, it could make a recovery to make some gains from here. Brett's a big one. Pepe's a big one. People were talking about Bonk as well and other ones. Of course, Chaos 20 still exists as well, and these memes equally could be very, very big when the market recovers. So it's a matter of time, really. It truly is. Doja needs proof of work. I expect that. Yeah, true. That's the benefit of Doja. The one respect for Doja is also a proof of work, which again, proof of work will prove itself to reign supreme. Of course, people have faded on it because of Bitcoin not being scalable, but when Casper comes out full force, fully fledged DeFi, people will expect proof of work again and realize the significance of proof of work, and Casper will get adoption therefore as well. ETH has had its day, but it changed the game. Too slow, expensive, too janky now. I agree. It's got use case in regards to helping people build on it to then transfer over to the blockchain of choice with their Ethereum interoperability, but yeah, its time's gone now. I think it'll still do well the cycle, potentially, but I think after the cycle it may fall off. And it could be the last hurrah for Ethereum. Not only slow transactions, but slow in development. That's also true as well. It's quick compared to the ambition that was Cardano. Yeah, Cardano, again, if you hold Cardano, by all means, you do you. I personally don't like Cardano. And that's why a lot of people in Casper say that it can surpass Cardano, because Cardano reached a 95 bill market cap in its first cycle. And it's like, why can Casper surpass that? Because Cardano is rubbish. And Cardano also didn't have smart contracts as well. So Casper was in a similar position. I think influencers need to start saying Casper is more Bitcoin than Bitcoin. Everything else is just noise and retail. Arguably yes, but I don't want to offend the Bitcoin maxis. I think I get what you're saying, because Casper is doing what Bitcoin couldn't do. So in that sense, yeah, it's kind of more Bitcoin than Bitcoin. But I just say it's the evolution, really. And like people will still stay true to Bitcoin. The same people still stay true to Windows 10, even Windows 10. Windows 11 is now out. I still use Windows 10. There's no reason why I haven't. But actually, there's a reason. I don't have Windows activated on my computer. But yeah, again, it's Casper will prove to be the evolution of Bitcoin. I'm not sure it's going to make the difference. Green candles will go through. Manipulation aside, in due time, green candles will go through for Casper. No doubt about it in my mind. We'll see a lot higher prices in the cycle. How soon? No one knows. Right now, we're waiting to see where it reacts from this current downwards wedge. Maybe it reacts tomorrow on Mr. Miles' birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Miles, tomorrow. Make sure you remember. Most devoted Casper community member in my CoinFactory community. He's a legend, so make sure you give him his praises. Although he hasn't bullied me today, so I'm happy about that as well. Was that all? Pretending who's doing very, very well. Welcome back to the stream. If you've got any more questions, because I am about to wrap up for today's stream. Yeah, and as crypto goes through highlights here, if you enjoy this stream, as always, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. I've been doing this stream every single day. I think, apart from the days where I had to take time off for family, it's been consistent every single day since the very top of Casper, 1st of August. Going strong, almost, 7 months in a row? It's crazy. So again, 8 months in a row. So if you enjoy, again, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. But that being said, Casper stands flex no VCs while it is one of the most manipulated. Everything's manipulated. Look at the price of all the projects right now. And also manipulating Casper is easier of no VCs. Because VCs are the ones who keep it up. Manipulation, therefore they can stop the manipulation as much. So, yeah. And yeah, there's also a lot worse projects with manipulation than Casper. Just looking at any more questions real quick. Hello there, Alyssa. Hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. We'll be celebrating in the future with our pina coladas, our mimosas, and our bags. Yes, no doubt about it. Or I think it's a margarita actually. But yeah, we don't know about it. We will be celebrating in due time this cycle with our Casper bags. Being very, very happy, no doubt about it. We all just got to hold strong, don't be emotional, be logical, and keep researching more and more. I guess you want to learn more about that. We've got a free community here. We can chill chat and learn more, and even more in-depth insight. Building onto like the stuff we already mentioned, like this article here, which I've posted in the executive community already. The adoption and the significance of this article and who they are and their beliefs. Again, if you want to find out more about the information we provide in there, a lot more in-depth insight. Links are also in the description as well. wop.com/coin-factory, and also on my homepage here as well, and in the description. Can you talk more about Cas 20s, also Turbo and Hoppy, the underdog? Yes, I did. I mean, actually, I'm not sure when this question came through. I know I did mention Turbo briefly as well, and I did say I think he can do quite well from his position right now as come down so far. Hoppy, I have not looked at Hoppy. I can look at his chart real quickly as I'm about to wrap up. Let's look at on Mexc, sure. Hoppy right now. So Hoppy, we can see, is equally come down quite a significant amount from all-time highs. It's currently down about 90%, so that's quite considerable. But it came down, what, 95%, which is, you know, almost like it died off. But now it's making a recovery. Yeah, 95% now it's making a recovery. It's currently up 100% in the past month or so. 2-3 weeks as well. So again, Hoppy's doing quite well in that recovery as well. Hoppy is, I mean, Hoppy again is one that I know has got quite a lot of community sentiment. So while it's come down significantly, it could be one that does recover as well. And we've got to KRC20, which I did mention at the beginning of the stream as well. Again, I think KRC20 is going to be another big one. When the Casper start to rally, these will start to rally as well. Again, Nacho's got over 1 million volume again, almost 1.5, which is good to see. Start to rally out more as well. The big ones here, and once we continue to build and innovate, we'll do very well going forward as well, no doubt about it. This does inherently depend on Casper, but I think Casper's going to do well either way, so these will do well as a result as well. You'll see more tier 1 fits in Casper, therefore listing these as well. More adoption. I know that Project Sparkle is going to be working alongside Nacho as well, so smart contract stuff as well, so again, very big as well. So I'm not, again, memes are more risky, so you've got to be very careful. Memes, do your own research, but I do have belief in the likes of KRC20, so some of them in particular. I think Turbo now has come down so far, and equally Hoppy now. After they had 95% correction in Hoppy and 85% in Turbo, these could be now due for, you know, some form of relief going into the bull run, because there's still a lot of community sentiment behind them, and ultimately what keeps a meme coin up is community sentiment and cult-like behavior, and they have that. Will it go to all-time highs? Will it, you know, 200x? I'm not saying that. But they could do well from here. You know, if you got into Turbo up here, then of course, yeah, you'd be definitely standing off right now, which some people did. But down this level down here, not financial advice, it might be worth looking into. But again, if you get into memes, me personally, when I get into memes, I put a minute, small, tiny portion of my portfolio in there, less than 1%, very small amount, because they're inherently very, very risky. You only put money into memes that you're willing to lose. I mean, it should be similar to anything in crypto realistically, because again, inherently the whole market is just a massive gamble in a sense, but you can argue some projects in the space, the likes of Bitcoin, of course, and we can also argue Casper as well, are safer, and, you know, can be deemed as a sort of investment as opposed to, you know, but again, it should only be money you're willing to lose. But that being said, though, again, not financial advice, do your own research, you know the deal. Mexc has done irreversible damage. It has done irreversible damage, but again, I think we can still recover from it regardless. Yeah, Cardano is not my favourite either. Casper looks like a nice hedgehog. Yeah, it does actually. It's a bit. Might start calling it Sonic. Actually, no, the audio project called Sonic. Call it Shadow instead. That's cooler, anyways. What's the difference between Casper and HBAR blockchain networks? I will cover that tomorrow, because unfortunately I am currently pressed for time. I've got to be out to do something in about 10 minutes. So I'll answer that tomorrow, Chris. So I'll save the question, and I will I'll save your question and I will get back to you tomorrow and tell you the difference between the two. I promise you that much. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow's stream will be going live about an hour from now. So about 25 hours from now, the stream should be going live. I'm going to quickly just make sure I save that as well. Where is that? There you go. Yes, it's my birthday tomorrow. Jay promised me he wouldn't beat me with a bar of soap and a rock, so I'm happy. Yeah, but you'll get beans on toast without the soap this time as well. Don't worry, I got you. What's up, Bingo Banger Man? Hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome back to the channel. How do you feel about Trisig? Think it will cover? Yeah, I mean, I think I haven't looked at Trisig for a little bit now. I know I did mention it in I get deck screen up real quickly. I know I did mention it a while back as a potential good pick, and I still think it's got potential to recover if it's not fallen off too badly because of its narrative. Its narrative also being around an AR agent. Trisig. Put up Trisig real quickly here. You can see Trisig is currently here, down to 4 million. Market cap's come down considerably right now. I will go to the daily. But yeah, it comes down considerably. Look, if even then it comes down considerably, but it's not completely died off. I mean, the sort of purchase we're seeing is minuscule now. But I would argue there's a possibility it comes back. There's still some form of transaction going on. How well it'll do from here is tough to say. But we did see it peak at 125 million. At 4 million right now, that does highlight potential for a over 20x, 30x almost. Should return to all-time highs. And it being an AR narrative. Of course, not all. There's a lot of AR narratives out there. Not all of them will survive. Not all of them will do well. But the good ones, which I think Trisig could be one of them, which I did mention in my community, it could be coming from here. Have to wait and see though again. Do your own research, trade and discretion. Trisig could be one. There are many other AR projects out there that I think can still do quite well. Just biding my time right now. Again, if you want to know more about the AR projects that I believe in or did believe in, I still have some of the picks in there that I still hold. Even now, after the correction, I still hold some of them. Some of them are de-risked, but I hold some of them, and I mentioned that in the community here. So if you want to know more, go check that out. Link in the description, link in the description, and also my homepage, wop.com/coin-factory. But with that being said, that will be it today. Oh, I never got into a position on it. Just looks like a good entry point. Oh yeah, no, I would argue yes. Right now, with the fact that it came down so significantly, but equally it held above. It managed to recover. It's holding the level of support right now. It still seems some form of belief behind it, and there still seems to be some form of trades going on. While of course a lot less, there's still some trades going on. So that's just a buy and sell. But either way, yes, I say that it could be a good entry for it as well. Definitely. So again, if you want to know more about that stuff, I'm going to be rallying up and talking more about that in the Coin Factory community, the What page. Again, links down below. But that being said, have a great day, good evening, and good night. If you enjoyed it, always leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. If you want to be even more locked in, check out the paid What community. If you want to have a place to chill, chat, and learn more, and maybe get a bit of exposure to what we do and even more in depth, then go check out the free community. Links are both on my homepage here. And yeah, okay.